Definitely.
So, welcome from the Rotary Club of San Francisco, Chinatown. I'm your current district membership chair, past district governor Ron Jin. Welcome and good morning, Rotarians. We know your time is valuable, and we thank you for spending the time with us this morning on a very important Rotary topic: membership. We are here today to learn about different clubs working to keep our members engaged and keep our clubs thriving. We're also here to find new ways to attract potential members during this modified COVID time. We are excited to have an interactive workshop planned for you. And as you can see from our agenda, we will be discussing three important areas of membership. So please take out a piece of paper to write down some of these ideas that you pick up, and you can bring them back to your clubs. So next, we're going to start with a very simple poll. And let me see, I got to find my polling questions. And we're going to launch the poll. Please pick 2 or 3 of these items. What are your major concerns today? And make sure that you submit your answers on the bottom. Okay, the votes are starting to come in. We've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 16, 18. Whoa, 25. Okay. We're just about there. We're going to give it another few more seconds. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to end the poll. And here are the results. And let's see what they say. Wow. As you can see, the top getter is engaging new members and retention of new members. Those are the top getters. So that's good to know because this will help us plan for our next events.
Attracting also, Ron.
Oh, yeah, and attracting. Way up on top, number 1 with 73%. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Let me just close that out. Okay. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our district membership team to you. From the Rotary Club of Half Moon Bay, Matoni Griffith. She is our district new club development advocate and also the co-host for this event today. We also have from the Rotary Club of San Bruno, Barbara Eisenseidel. From the Rotary Club of Novato, Ron Harness. From the Rotary Club of Millbrae, Joe Teresi. From the Rotary Club of San Mateo, Tony Villanueva. From the Rotary Club of Foster City, Mark Watson, who's also a co-host today. From the Rotary Club of San Francisco Bayview, Howard Weathersby. Unfortunately, Barbara, Tony, and Howard are unable to join us today, but since this session is being recorded, they could join us on the reruns. And now to begin the program, here's Matoni.
Great. Thank you, Ron. Thanks for joining us this morning. And we're here to talk about new ways that clubs are working together to keep their members engaged and clubs thriving. And we're also here to find ways to attract potential new members during this modified COVID time. When talking about membership, it's really important to go back to the reasons why we joined Rotary. Rotary International conducted a membership survey and found that over 70% said they joined because of community service, either locally or internationally. They also want to gain exposure to personal development and training opportunities. And they stay because of the connections they've made, the fellowships they've enjoyed, and service opportunities that they participated in. Now, let's look at why they leave Rotary. 34% say that time constraints and cost prevent them from continuing to be Rotarians. And for us in the Bay Area, it could be that they've moved away. And the remainder felt that their needs just aren't met. Either the culture of the club isn't the match or their expectations have changed. Now, talk of declining membership, it's not new. As you can see in this 14-year membership chart, it's been a struggle for a number of years for all of our clubs. A copy of this slide and other presentations will be made available to you in an email after the meeting, so don't you worry. You can look at your own club's numbers in 2008 and compare them to 2020, and you'll see there's a huge difference. Now it's more of a concern because we aren't meeting the same way that we used to, right? We're not seeing each other, and we're not doing things like socials and community service the same way. Now, today we're going to explore ways to attract new members, engage our membership, and explore new and different ways to stay involved. Up next is Dennis Petinelli of the Rotary Club of Belmont Redwood Shores. And here's Dennis. Let me make sure to unmute Dennis.
Good morning.
Great.
Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you. So I got 3 minutes, so this is going to be on speed dial, okay? So when I looked at my year this year, I tried to take a look, okay, what is it? What are the things that we can take advantage of rather than worry about what I can't worry about, right? I can't worry about the pandemic. I can't worry about that we can't meet. So what is it that I can do to make, to take advantage of the opportunity? Well, if all of you recall, you go to a Rotary Club meeting, you got to get in your car, you got to go somewhere, you got to sit down, you got to have a meal, you got to pay some money, and then you got to go back. And that takes you depending on how far away you live, it takes you a good chunk out of your day. What I found is with a Zoom meeting, it's really not a big ask of somebody, right? So I thought of, okay, one, we got to have really good speakers. Two, we got to have an engaging meeting. So I try to do something fun every week. I can send you, there's this guy called John Foley. He's got a little 3-minute vignette, and I play one every week. But I try to make it exciting. And then the key is I talk to everybody about it that I know about. Jay, just log in. We don't care if you joined or not. Just log in. See if you like it. We log on 15 minutes early, so we have our own little chat session, and it's kind of engaging to see, how everybody kind of likes each other and talks to each other. But I got 2 new members. Monday, we have 7 new members since July 1st, just by this. And I have a whole prospect list. I've gotten permission from people to keep letting them know. And I have some people I've sent this out to since the beginning. Nobody's responded. I'll check in with them and ask them, can I keep sending it? Yes, I'm still interested. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is, no pressure to join. Just come and see what we do. Have an exciting meeting, right? I've had each member introduce themselves and tell a little bit about each other. I try to keep it lively. The key is, have the hour go by fast. I mean, that to me is what I'm trying to do. So I think I probably blew my 3 minutes.
Thank you, Dennis. That was great. Up next is Assistant Governor Liz Mark of the Rotary Club of San Francisco Chinatown.
Hi, everyone. Liz here. You can change the slide. Yeah. So I wanted to ask everybody who here on this call has heard of the Nextdoor app? Raise your hand. Okay, so there are some people who have maybe used it, have it on their phone. It's just something briefly I want to chat with you about because there's a lot of potential there. So what is the Nextdoor app? It's actually a secure app. They actually look at who wants to join and that you actually live where you say you live. Okay, so you can't have these oddballs coming into your app. And really, why do we use it? It's used to bring neighbors together. It's supposed to cultivate a kinder world where everyone has a neighborhood that they could rely on. It connects you to your neighbors. and your local businesses. Neighbors share services, news, recommendations, and actually could sell stuff. And surprisingly, when I was reading about this, it's in 11 countries, and 1 in 4 households currently use Nextdoor. So why is this important to us? Well, as you can see by our pictures here, I participated along with Ron in a neighborhood cleanup, which was just last Sunday. And we had 70 people attending, as you could see. And we picked up over 100 bags of garbage and probably at least a couple thousand of cigarette butts. So there was a great way to meet some new folks that really care about the community, and in this case, the environment, which is our 7th area of focus now. And not only did we do this project, a couple of weeks ago, we did an anti-graffiti painting project. And it was great fun, as you can see here. This is the before and after picture. And we met some great folks and work alongside them. And I think there's a lot of potential here to attract some Rotary folks, or for sure to maybe grab a couple of good speakers, because we met some interesting folks. So what do we do with this? Well, we meet folks, we give them our Rotary cards, and you never know what's going to come out of it. We've also posted some of this on our Facebook pages. So we're putting the word out about what we're doing in Rotary, and hopefully this will help us attract some new members. That's it. Thanks.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Liz and Dennis. Thanks for sharing those. Now it's time to move into our first breakout session and talk about what each of our clubs are doing to attract new members. Ron?
Okay, so in the background, I've been trying to assign people to breakout rooms. I'm going to start the breakout rooms, and you will be going to one of 12 breakout rooms. We will have a moderator in each breakout room to help facilitate the conversations. So please go to your breakout rooms.
See you in a bit. Welcome back, everyone.
My goodness, that was like speed dating. I mean, literally, I'm like, nobody can talk. Like, that was so fast. I mean, literally, I thought everybody would get like 7 minutes. Sorry.
What?
7 minutes, everybody.
Did you see?
Hi, good morning. No, the whole session, 7 minutes. The 2 minutes, nothing.
There wasn't a way to put a countdown on it because I didn't know how much time we had.
But a hug for me, Ginger.
We never got to the second question.
I sent you the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, well, yeah. So we got 7 minutes per session then?
7 minutes per session.
Thank you. That's why I need to know that.
I don't think that was 7 minutes.
Hey,
No,
You must have been having fun.
time flies fast, right?
So,
Took me
so
2
for-
minutes
for-
to unmute myself.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
I want to say that I'm looking at the chat, and we have Kareem from Lebanon, and it's like 8 o'clock at night over there. So I can't see where he is, but or he.
Wow.
And then of course Josh is from the new Global Action Club. So hey Josh, thanks for stopping in. Fantastic. Sorry to
It
interrupt.
says it's 8 o'clock at night over there.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Wow, I am impressed. Thank you all.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's this is really great. I think everyone's excited to be together and having a conversation. And let's talk about what we've learned in this session. Let's do a quick recap. How about Liz? Do you want to start off with a recap on your breakout room?
Sure. So we had a small group, and Jack Paul, Rafael Evening, they're having their fundraiser, the Truffle Shuffle. So I'm giving you some advertisement here. And they've reached out to a lot of non-Rotarians. It is going to be a fun-filled event. So fun is very important during this time. She's also reaching out during this time, especially to members who have previously left their roster, to reconnect with them. And I think that's a really important, idea as well for us to all do. And she's talking about more virtual online parties, also for fun. And Cecile talked about, 1/4 dues, reduced dues for partners, which is, I think, a really great idea. So that was our little session.
Great. Danielle, did you want to share what happened in your group?
Sure, thank you so much. So a couple items. We did talk about Nextdoor, which I think some people didn't realize that you could utilize it in this fashion, and especially when people use it for other things. And just as a side note, I know that when the Rotary Club of San Francisco Castro had initially started going, or was first being chartered, they used Nextdoor exclusively, actually, and that was how we got a lot of people who had found the club. So we did talk about that. Herman actually also brought up a potential match or app that you can use called Volunteer Match. So I was actually just Googling it while we were talking, and it looks like they match volunteers with your nonprofit organization. So he's going to check that out and see how that works. So even though it was a very brief conversation, it was productive. So next time I will keep my mouth shut.
Great. If you could put that into the chat, Danielle, as a suggestion to everybody, volunteer match, that'd be great. Dick Bennett, do you have something to share from your club, your breakout session? You'll need to unmute yourself first.
Yes. So
Sorry.
just to help you
Yes.
all with the 7 minutes, I asked both questions simultaneously because they're somewhat related, and it allowed us to have a little more time to speak. It's what I got out of it is some people are having regular social events. They're like at least once a month. They're having face mask, mostly outdoors. But I think that's because the one thing that has bothered me is everybody's kind of sequestered here, and we're not. I know I have to do something. We are having a social at the end of this month finally, but I think just having something regular is sounds like a good idea. And again, everybody deals with this situation differently. You have to just respect where they're coming from. But I think that creates some energy. And I like the local breakout room during a club meeting. It creates a little more intimacy.
That's great. Thanks, Dennis. Mr. Bennett.
Hi, Matoni. The strong idea that impresses me in our breakout was the idea of sharing your social experiences on your own Facebook page, as well as the club Facebook page and the individual Facebook page. We have the belief that if everybody knew what we were doing, everybody would join. So it's the concept of getting out the joy, the fellowship, and the good deeds that a Rotary is doing through Facebook.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And one last share, I'm going to ask Terry from San Francisco. Do you want to give us a recap?
Thank you, Matoni. That a lot of these thoughts have been shared, and something that really stands out for me, and the question, of course, how has COVID changed how we seek potential new memberships? We all feel the sense of personal connection, the loss of it.
56
and
people.
Something that's being done in clubs that were in our breakout session is that they agree with that comment earlier shared by Dennis. Distance is no longer an issue. So being able to participate with a club does expand our boundaries, but more importantly to the issue of interpersonal connections, being able to organize volunteer programs such as supporting the food bank, where the protocols are in place, people can feel safe and is able to participate. That's where they're filling in the gaps to have those interpersonal connections. And I think that says a lot about this team.
Perfect. Thank you, Terry. We'll take all of everyone's comments from the breakout rooms, and we'll share it, because I think there's some really great ideas out of this, and it's worth sharing to the big group. Moving right along, I want to for us to think about our own club and the number of new Rotarians that we've had join over the last few years. Are they still Rotarians? And if not, why did they leave? The membership survey that Rotary International conducted showed us that members who stay less than 1 year left because of a disconnect in expectations. And to mitigate that from happening, a new member orientation process is highly effective in setting expectations. So here to talk about their own new member orientation process is past District Governor Terry Pickering of San Francisco #2.
Thank you, Matoni. May I have my slide?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the club, our orientation process for San Francisco #2. Because Rotary can be complex, this program is intentionally simple in design with intent for both facilitators and the participants to relax while becoming familiar with one another and with Rotary. There are actually 3 key objectives for this program, and they are fellowship and fun, meet key leadership, and to gain basic understanding of Rotary. Touching on the first one, fellowship and fun, our event begins with interactive mingling. The club leadership ensures that guests are greeted and enjoy introductions to individuals who are attending. This event is purely social at this point, and in-person events may include appetizers and a beverage. We recently adopted to a virtual program, and it works beautifully in either case. Then there's an organized activity to learn about one another. These are simple and non-threatening self-introductions, such as sharing anecdotal information, such as the furthest distance you've traveled from San Francisco around the world, or what is your favorite viewpoint in the city. The event wrap-up concludes with a raffle, a drawing, or a door prize. And for us, we use Amazon gift cards as an example. Meeting key leadership at the club. The president of the club kicks off the program and introduces the club leadership team. The membership chair will deliver a very short program and then invites vocational service, international service, community service, and youth chairs, each to give a 5-minute overview. Perhaps they can cover their strategic plans, discuss goals and objectives, or present a signature project or 2. And then third, the intent is to gain the basic understanding of Rotary, to connect and meet with club leadership team, understand basic principles of Rotary, and identify opportunities to engage. Matoni, thank you very much for allowing me to share these thoughts.
Thank you, Terry. That was great. This is like speed dating.
Did I get my 3 minutes?
Yes, you did. So the study went on to survey the members who left within the first 2 years of membership and found that the lack of engagement contributed to their reasons for leaving. Here to share how the Rotary Club of San Mateo successfully mentors their new members is Dick Bennett. And we'll need to unmute Dick. There we go.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It all starts with knowing why a new member wants to join. There are 2 ways to discover that in written form. One is the application itself. We always ask, why do you want to join? What are your interests? What do you hope to accomplish? And secondly, a document that we call volunteer committee document, meaning that we have a number of committees, we have a number of projects going on an ongoing basis, more obviously before coronavirus. And the new applicant fills that out. At the same time he or she is doing that, a member from the membership committee agrees to mentor that particular new member. In addition to his or her sponsor, we have a mentor. Now that mentor, we have 145 people in the club. So you get lost when you walk in. You may not meet this over 2 or 3 different Thursdays, you may not meet the same people. So we want to make sure that not only is the sponsor responsible for introductions and knowledge to the club with reference to the new member, but also the mentor is sponsor, member, and documents. Then we try as best we can to get that new member on a committee that is the same as his interest. We just had someone apply who said, I want to work with youth activities. He obviously goes onto the scholarship committee. That's how we do it. And I think that over a period of time, particularly not involving COVID, it's a successful program. Thank you, Matoni, for organizing.
Great. Thank you so much, Dick. That was really great. And now it's our chance again to go into our breakout session number 2, and we're going to be asking each of you, how do you engage your new members in your clubs? So speed session. Let's share some takeaways from this last session. Krissie, Kirby, want to share with us what your room was talking about?
Well, sure. Actually, we had 2 moderators in my session, so I'm going to let Terry also chime in from number 2. But Terry, I think you wrapped it up really well. Do you want to say what? Yeah.
Sure. Thanks. Well, one of the things that we agreed on is that the interpersonal connection is the basement core value of Rotary. And what we're doing and talking about is going back to something old fashioned, which we really embrace. And it looks like sending out personalized thank you cards, note cards, or communications and messages that tells the recipient that you've taken the time and the interest in their well-being. That's one. And it's the old fashioned pick up the phone. And a phone tree where you have committee members doing outreach, checking with individuals, particularly those new members who are overwhelmed with the sea of faces that they're meeting on Zoom, goes a long way for them to bond and feel connected. So those are our takeaways.
Thank you. Really, really great. That connection is so important for everyone. Joe Teresi, do you want to share what your room talked about?
Sure. Yeah, a couple of the great ideas from our group. One of them was holding a new member breakfast, which is a little harder to do nowadays, but to get everyone together and just share a social meal. And then the other big concept was the idea of a blue badge member, which I had never heard of before, which is a member that's new. And in order to graduate from a blue badge to a red badge, over a period of 6 to 12 months, you need to do a series of tasks, such as attending a board meeting, attending a club activity, attending a committee meeting, attending a Rotary Club for another club in the area, as a way to get acquainted with what Rotary is all about.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Mark Watson, do you want to share what was in your room?
Well, actually, Gary Chow was the moderator for our session, so I'm going to let Gary do that.
Sounds
sure,
good.
Mark. Okay, so yeah, we had some interesting ideas. Daly City Coma actually does a bonding session. We did this pre-COVID, where they actually did some esteem building activities because they really jumped out and took the assertive approach of really having people get a good experience for something directly for them. But also they do look at going back to what motivate them to join in the first place and then try to focus on that, as well as using mentorship. Penn Starlight is really great. They do a periodic online surveys to their new members to really figure out what's going on, being in touch, finding out what else is needed to keep it relevant to the members. So that one is really innovative. Foster City does a new member orientation, but also they do 3 times a year a new members meeting to where they present different facets of Rotary, but also it's a way to learn feedback from these new members and their needs, which supplements their mentorship program. So that's kind of the takeaways from our group.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you. And again, we're going to take everybody's, all the moderators will send me their things, we'll encapsulate them, we'll send it out to everyone to share some more. We're going to move on to the next session. And we're going to revisit an earlier slide about the reasons why people join Rotary, right? Over 70% of Rotarians join because of service projects, both local and international service projects, and that they stayed because of those service projects and the connections and friendships that they've cultivated in our club, in our clubs. So here to talk about the next session, you know, we've done a tremendous job bringing in new members. Let's work hard to keep those new members and the rest of our membership. And we want to keep our members engaged. We want them to be involved, and we want to be thriving. Here to present some ways to keep our membership thriving from the Rotary Club of Novato is Ron Harness. Mr. Harness.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello, everyone. I have 40 minutes, right, Matoni? Oh, I'll have to compress it a little bit. Okay, I want to talk about how environmental sustainability can be a link to potential new members. The last 4 years of California wildfire has opened our eyes to the real and imminent dangers of our rapidly changing climate. We would all like to know what can be done to mitigate these dangers. We're looking for insight and climate solutions. Rotary International's identification of environmental sustainability as an important area of focus highlights the growing awareness of these issues. This could also be a powerful attractor to non-Rotarians who are already actively involved in environmental issues. Wikipedia identifies 54 environmental NGOs in the Bay Area. I'm sure there are many more. I can only guess, but there must be hundreds of active members in these organizations. Importantly, these people are exactly the type of personalities we want to attract to Rotary. They're socially aware, they're concerned, smart, committed, and they're energized. In the past, these community members have not considered Rotary, probably, as a place where they could apply their environmental enthusiasm and efforts. Now we can show them that Rotary is a perfect place for them. These groups have a much larger percentage of younger members than Rotary at large. We need to find a place for this younger group, to feel intimately included, to feel respected, and to feel necessary to drive these issues forward, supported by Rotary International's organizational strength and funding. After all, we're trying to open our arms to new leaders that will take Rotary forward into the 2020s. Since July, I injected myself into 10 Bay Area environmental NGOs, and I met 100 people from outside the Rotary world, people of all ages, stripes, and motivations. They are my new target market as potential members to the Rotary Club of Novato. For now, Zoom meetings are a good way for them to comfortably attend our meetings and to experience our commitment to the good things we do. Whenever non-Rotarians attend our meetings, they are almost universally impressed with the idea of the four-way test, the character of our members, and the good things we do, and the fun we have. We just need to show them that there is a place for them in Rotary that can support their existing environmental interests. My club formed an environmental sustainability team in July, and we have more than 30 interested people sign up. This team will serve as a good place for new members to fit in. Matoni connected our environmental sustainability team to a group called End Plastic Soup that was created by Gert van Dammelen, a member of the Rotary Club of Amsterdam. In a twist of serendipity, Gert van and I actually had lunch together 2 years ago in Hamburg, but I had lost track of him. After a long career at IBM, Gert van retired to create End Plastic Soup with the mission to keep more plastics from entering the oceans. End Plastic Soup has attracted many Interact and Rotaract groups, and they have already implemented successful solutions to trap plastic in Amsterdam's canals before they enter the ocean. Their successful and innovative solutions has also been implemented in other countries. End Plastic Soup is already supported by 20 Rotary clubs in Europe, Scandinavia, Central America, and the US. In addition, our club signed up as an ambassador club to represent them in 5150. Also, you should consider joining SRAG, the Environmental Sustainability Action Group. SRAG is international in scope, and it's supported in the Bay Area by RCAT, Rotary Climate Action Team, which is focused more at the club level. Membership in the Big West regional chapter of SRAG has more than doubled in membership just this year, from about 80 to almost 200. And this is evidence of the increasing interest in the environment. Sustainability is on everyone's radar, and we can enlist it to help attract new members. Once again, Rotary has provided the linkage of ideas and mission to address some tough issues that we face. Locally addressing these issues of environmental sustainability can also address the issues of declining Rotary membership. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ron. That was great. Very exciting in so many ways. So up next, from the Rotary Club of Millbrae, current president, Joe Teresi. Here you go, Joe.
All right, here we go. So I think everyone would agree that performing community service has been especially challenging during COVID-19. Well, I would like to suggest that neighborhood trash cleanups are a great way to do service. Next. Why do I say that? Because it doesn't need to be done in a group. You don't need to do it all at once. When you do trash cleanups, you can make your own schedule, pick your own location. You can work solo or in small family groups. But in any case, by working together, you can make a difference in your community. Next. And of course, one of the challenges also is measuring your impact. So in the area of trash pickups, I'd like to tell you about a new phone app that it's a tool that will help you to measure your impact. It's called CleanSwell, and it's a smartphone app that you can get on the App Store for the iPhone or the Google Play Store for Android phones. It allows you to record your personal data as well as to aggregate all the data from your club members and through Rotarians throughout the district in terms of how much trash are we picking up. And it'll help you to celebrate your positive impact on the community. So it's really easy. You just go to either the App Store or the Google Play Store and download the app. And it's free, by the way, so no cost there. So you set up a personal account by filling out the information here. Next. And then when you're ready to start, you just click on the start collecting the button there, and it helps you to track how much trash you've collected, how far you've walked, and what kinds of trash that you have picked up. So here is the sign up screen, and the key here is to name your, let's go back up one. The key is to name your group with the term Rotary D5150 and then the name of your club. By doing that, it enables us to aggregate all the data from all the clubs in the district. Go ahead, next. So when you open it up, it actually allows you to pinpoint exactly what you're picking up. It's not important that it be perfect. We try to estimate, how much of each type of thing that you pick up, and you get lots of data. And here's an example of a report that's been, this is all the clubs in San Mateo County who have picked up trash for the last few weeks. And look, we picked up 280 pounds and 1,788 pieces of trash. Terrific. So again, I encourage you to think about neighborhood trash pickups as a way to do community service. You have a flexible schedule and location. It's easy to social distance. You can measure your impacts using this new CleanSwell app. You get positive events in your community, and it supports Rotary International's new area focus, supporting the environment. So it's a perfect project for you today. Go for it.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. That was great. And now, moving on with keeping your membership engaged is Krissie Kirby from the Rotary Club of San Francisco Evening.
Thanks, Matoni. So what I want to talk about today is how you can plan an event and get participation in an event during a pandemic. Next slide. So what do you do during a pandemic? Well, you have to be flexible, number one, because you want your members to feel comfortable with what they're participating in. Always follow all current local and state guidelines around COVID-19 because they're changing every day. You have to offer virtual options for people that can't be there in person or don't feel comfortable. And just like you've heard from the previous presentations, try to get outdoors because that minimizes the contact. And if you do have low participation, you can ask individually to people, what can we do to make this feel safe for you to participate? Because that's going to be one of the most important things. It doesn't matter what you plan or what you do. You want people to feel comfortable being a part of it. Now, have a contingency for the contingency, right? We all know with planning events, you always have to have a backup plan. And with COVID, you find out you need plan A, B, C, and maybe even D. And that's also due to those guidelines changing. Plus, also, if you are using outdoor spaces, you have to check their restrictions. you know, in planning this road rally, you know, we found out that a lot of parking lots in places wouldn't allow more than 20 cars. And so we had to get creative in how we were going to do this event and not have everybody in the same place all at once. The other thing is using social media and Zoom. So by using social media and Zoom, we're all familiar with Zoom with our club meetings. That's become our new normal. However, there's things that you can do at Zoom meetings to mix it up a little bit. You know, have everybody wear crazy hats one day. Or we've done some fun things at SF Evening where we've used apps like Kahoot and Sporkle and done little online trivia and fun games. Just a happy hour to get together as well. But you always have to mix it up, change your theme, and Facebook Live. So I'll come back to the road rally quickly because we plan on being on Facebook Live at the end of the road rally. So that way we can give a message out to everyone. We can talk about any awards and prizes, different things like that. I want to encourage everyone to get your members to participate in the road rally. We want everyone to register. We want them to participate. They can let us know if they want to be virtual or if they want to be in person. The great thing about this is you're in your personal car, usually with people you're already around normally. And the great thing about it is you get out and learn about your county. So you can pick Marin, San Francisco, or San Mateo and just drive around, follow these fun clues that are put together by Rich Swart and John Mathers, and learn a little bit more about the county and Rotary, and just get outside. So I think that those are the big things that we really need to focus on: comfort, contingencies, and social media.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Krissie. All right, guys. Last chance for our quick breakout room. Breakout room number 3 coming up in a couple of minutes or a few seconds. What are other ideas for member engagement do you have to share? All right. Well, welcome back. We're going to start, let's share some takeaways from your breakout sessions. And I'm going to start with Jane, PDG Jane.
Actually, and I will give the floor to Joe Teresi.
Okay. Take it away, Joe.
Whoa. Well, one of the things that was brought up is it's sometimes easier to have service projects if you're able to actually do the activity from home. So one idea that was tossed out was a club was making lunches for needy folks, but instead of going to a soup kitchen, they were just making them at home, and then everyone individually would take them to a central location. So that made it easier for people to do and yet feel safe.
That's great. Great idea. Rick Chin, do you want to share what happened in your breakout session?
Yeah, we were actually privileged to have a guest from the Westwood Village Rotary Club, which has a real close relationship with the San Francisco Chinatown Club. Nancy McGrady talked about some of the things they've done, and since their club is near the VA hospital in Westwood, they actually work a lot with the veterans and have projects that are helping them, as well as spending a lot of effort in working with some local homeless shelters and doing food giveaways, etc. So it was nice to hear from Nancy. Ron, you probably know her.
I saw her 2 days ago at a joint meeting.
And I reminded her I went to your meeting at Four Seas when they were there one year.
Wow, that was
so anyway, and then Diana at Foster City. Actually, Foster City is they're going out and doing freeway cleanups and also spending quite a bit of volunteer hours with helping the village and Second Harvest and giving away foods. Another unique thing is they're recovering old play structures from playgrounds and then shipping it up north to other needy areas for old playground structures. And then Peninsula Starlight, they're also working with the promoting cleanups and using Clean Swell, I believe. And they're also encouraging that all their members engage in breakout sessions so that they can actually in turn reach out and help other members to be engaged. So they're using breakouts to a great advantage. Thank you.
Very great. Very good. Thank you. And Bruce Huff, do you want to share your breakout room?
I was not the moderator in our
Okay.
room. Thank you.
All right. So Steve Wright, do you want to share in your breakout room?
Sure. We had 3 people in ours besides myself. All 3 clubs, West Marin, San Rafael, and San Francisco #2, all 3 clubs are doing food banks, which that really struck me as very interesting. One of our smaller clubs and one of our larger clubs. Also, the Marin Club, West Marin, they are doing projects now with the local Lions Club, hands-on service projects as far as a beach cleanup. And they're also getting together for the future to work on, as I understand it, a shed that their volunteer fire department has. They're going to be trying to turn that into a youth center, a community center. And I thought the hands-on approach with Lions, another small organization in their community, was great. Then the San Rafael Club, they've got a project where they are focusing on smaller businesses that are impacted by COVID. But the key here is they bring in the smaller business to start out their Zoom meeting for a few moments to talk about the business, but the business has to have some kind of a connection to community service. And unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to flesh that out. If I can turn this over real quick to Robert Chatham out of San Rafael, if Matoni, you'll bear with me.
Sure, sure, go ahead.
And ask Mr. Chatham to give us a bit more on that.
What would you like to know, real quick?
How does that work with the small business and the tie to community service?
Well, it's based on recommendations that we get from members when we hear something or see something in the IJ or just our own connections. Again, the whole purpose is one, to seek out to help the small businesses. They're suffering, we all know that. And when we can find a small business, and we do, there are several out there, they're doing a lot of great work in giving back to nonprofits. We'll have one at our meeting on Monday. It's a local catering company that gives 15% of their proceeds to nonprofits in San Rafael. So there are a number of them that are out there. People are doing all sorts of really good things besides just trying to keep their business. It's a very tough business, very tough time.
Excellent, thank you.
But any questions, I'll try to answer if there's a specific question. That's what happens. That's what we do. It's 5 to 10 minutes.
Great, thank you. And Matoni, with that, I'll turn it back over to you and thank you for the opportunity.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing. Is there anybody else, other moderators that want to share something from their rooms? Go ahead, Ron.
Okay.
Ron Harness,
oh,
sorry.
Sorry.
Ron Harness. I just thought there were a couple of suggestions that were really good. One that tweaked my interest was to have a pumpkin carving contest where everybody comes to get their pumpkin, but then they take them home and carve them and later somehow share that on Zoom. That's kind of a real creative approach. The other stuff was mostly trash pickups and things that you all have talked about before, outside landscaping and things like that. But I love the pumpkin idea. Thank you.
Yeah, really great ways to engage membership, and thanks for sharing. Anybody else, any other moderator want to share?
Can I just say that along the pumpkin line, SF #2 is having a virtual Halloween party on October 28th. I think it's at 6 o'clock, Anita. And if you want to sign up, it's on their website.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Ron?
Sherry has her hand up.
I was just hoping that Jack Stevens could talk about their 100 Points of Light project that they're doing.
Jack?
Sure. We have an event coming up on December the 4th. It's a first time for us. What we've got is 4 local nonprofits, each of which will be doing a 10-minute pitch. And we'll also have a Zoom dance contest, which I've been promised will not be posted online because God help us all. But the thought is that we get outreach to local nonprofits that are doing good work. And the money that people pay for attendance for both the music, the DJ, the dance, and the presentations all goes back to the various nonprofits. There'll be a vote by the attendees, and the top vote getter gets 50% of the proceeds. Next is 25, then 15, and 10. But all the money flows to these great causes. You get a chance to see the new causes, and it's a chance to have a little fun as well. And that's coming up on December the 4th, I believe. And Laura can probably, our president can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but you'll see more about that on Facebook. It's a first time event for us, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Really great.
It's in the, she posted it on the chat. It's Thursday, December 3rd at 6:30.
Okay.
So December 3rd at 6:30.
3rd, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Great. Thank you everyone for sharing. This is all really great ideas, all great ways to attract new members, to keep everyone engaged. And we are going to bring these together and share them with you in the next couple days. So I want to move on, and Ron, take it away, Ron.
All right, before I launch into the survival guide, we had a late attendee join us, Kareem from Lebanon. So everybody wave to Kareem. Hi, how are you?
Hello, thank you. Thank you very much for your interesting meeting tonight. I'm so happy. It's my pleasure to meet you all.
So what is it that you do for community service projects or engaging members out in Lebanon? 1 minute, real short.
Actually, we are working on food boxes on bank food now, and some PUPs for the hospital for the COVID pandemic, and ventilator respirators
Great.
as service projects.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that. You know, this is a worldwide worldwide connection. We even have someone from Colorado and of course Westwood Village in Southern California. So this slide is the survival guide, and these are the handouts that we'll be sending to you after this meeting. It's a virtual etiquette and best practices. That's the little handout on the right. Then you'll get paper forms of designing a dynamic club meeting, as well as hosting a virtual club meeting. But the most important part that you've seen in the past was the People of Action planning tool. So this is where you could fill that out, assign people to specific projects, the outcomes, and whose responsibility it is for whatever project or membership action that's going to happen. So quickly to the next slide. Not Tony. Okay, and the upcoming district events. So don't miss the following road rally on October 24th. My car is fixed. I just tested it yesterday, so I'm ready to go. And if you haven't signed up already, we have our Rotary District Foundation event on the 21st. See Jane Holbert for more information on that. Next to that Rotary Foundation is that really cool little pin. Go back. It's the Polio Plus Society pin. Very cool. Talk to Steve Wright about that as well. Okay. And last, we are going to do our final polling. And this is really important because this final polling is going to help us figure out what to design for our next meeting. So there's going to be 2 questions, and check all that apply for the first, and then go to the second question and make sure you submit. This is going to help us design our next membership breakout sessions, workshop. And we are almost finished. So vote and make sure that you hit your submit, record, whatever it is.
Nothing happens when I hit submit.
Really?
I'm not getting the questions. You need to expand your the window.
Yeah.
Then it's because you have to answer both questions before you could click submit.
Gotcha.
I
2 questions. 2 questions.
Okay, I have no questions here. I just got final polling questions and it's blank.
Ah, that means we don't want your answers.
All right.
There should be, if you expand the box, maybe.
Yeah, if you expand the box to questions and then you see the submit at the bottom.
Thank you.
I've done it.
Okay, great.
We're getting, I'm on an iPad, so it might make a difference.
That's great.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
we're
the
getting responses now. This is wonderful.
So
I just want to say this is the best membership committee training I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Linda.
I've got no questions here, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
This has been terrific, really dynamic. I like the breakout sessions.
Thank you, Deirdre.
Thank you.
So Krissie Kirby posted the link for the Rotary Road Rally on our chat box, but also it is on the front page of our district website. You can go there. Okay, we are pretty much done on the polling, so I'm just going to end that. We don't need, well, I'll share this with you anyway. Okay, so if I share the results with you all, this is what you're looking at. You like today's breakout session, great, the format, so that's good to know. Obviously, a lot of you found it useful. That's encouraging. Let's see, time-wise, you like the 90-minute format? Okay, that's good to know. That's going to help us. You want to spend some more time on attraction, and we will take all this into consideration for our next next meeting. Okay.
Thank you. That was really great feedback.
Thank you, for your help.
Yes.
Okay. Last slide. Tony. Okay. So this workshop took a lot of Rotarians to put together. I want to thank Matoni Griffiths. Yay! Everybody clap. Love that silent clap. And then we had Mark Watson in the background as the co-host. Our new membership committee members who cannot be with us today would be Barbara, Tony, and Howard. But our speakers, I really want to thank Dennis, Liz, Mark, PDG, Terry, Dick, Ron Harness, Joe, Tracy, and Krissie for that information. Our drafted breakout room moderators, thank you, PDG, Jane, Danielle, Gary, and District Community Service Chair Steve. We drafted them literally this morning, so thank you for helping us out. We hope you found this workshop interesting, informative, and engaging, and that we have presented some new ideas, and that you would take back this information to your clubs and to help grow Rotary. So thank you all for attending, and you can hang around and we will keep this box open so you can all chat. So unmute yourselves and thank you for attending.
Ron, can you do me a favor real fast? Can you go back to the first slide? I wanted to check in. I forgot to check in so I could encourage more people to attend.
So we will have this available on recorded session as well as you will get the slide deck.
I just wanted to take a quick picture of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anybody, you can unmute yourselves and say hi to everybody and go from there.
Sorry, hold on.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Everyone.
Hey, look at Herman.
Hello,
my
hello,
gosh.
hello.
So Ron, how did we end up getting somebody from Lebanon and I forget the other country? How far out did you put this?
Facebook.
Wow,
Facebook.
that's impressive.
Yeah, so Facebook, virtual meetings, you can join anybody's virtual meeting.
Yeah.
So we thank all of our people from non-5150 for attending. And actually, I appreciate all of you for attending.
And you know what? It is good for other people to come from other countries. I mean, after all, we are global.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And this is the best way to share best practices.
Yes.
So what if you like what you saw, you would use it. If you didn't like what you saw, you won't use it. So
right.
Yeah. And I'm
but it might spur people on to try different approaches they hadn't thought of before.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank
So
you guys for everything. I've got another meeting I've got to go to, but I thought it was fantastic.
We'll see you at the road rally.
See you at the road rally.
Thanks, Krissie.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
Krissie. Thank you.
Jack
Thank
Paul,
you.
for
Great
you,
job.
Jack Paul.
Oh.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks for
bye.
joining.
Jack Paul, that's for you.
Yeah.
You can take
Thank
your
you so
picture
much,
now.
Matoni. Okay.
Have a good rest of your weekend.
Thanks everyone for showing up.
Thank
This is really great. I hope.
And Karine, what time is it over there now? It's nighttime?
No, it's not 9:30 p.m. All
right. On Saturday or?
On Saturday night. Saturday night, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thanks for staying up so late.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
And Josh, where
are
were you?
you the membership person for Global Action?
I am, yeah.
And where are you from? Because you're not in San Francisco, Josh. Where
No,
are you?
I'm in Alberta, Canada.
Wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So we have.
That's why I have my toque on today. It's cold today. It's snowing actually. Actually, hold on. Let me show you guys my window.
Is it snowing?
It is snowing.
Oh my God.
That is so crazy.
Welcome to my life.
Hey,
Josh, look at that.
We're in a heat wave.
What? Yo, you guys want to like send some of that over here? We could even out a bit.
I would love it.
I hope that the border will open because my family and I absolutely love Canada and we're itching to get back.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you very much, Matoni, for inviting me to this, and thank you, Ron, and to everybody else who's.
Great job.
So Josh, Josh is the new membership chair, aren't you, for the Global Action?
Yeah.
So you could reach out to myself or Matoni for one-on-ones.
Yeah, Matoni and I have been meeting, so thank you, Matoni.
Yes.
Fantastic. Great.
Yeah.
Great. All
It's
right.
great to see everyone.
Hey.
And then Ann, I'll see you next week.
Well, I'll see you Wednesday, Ron. Thank you.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Good to see you, Ann.
Good to see you, roommate.
I know. I miss you.
Good to see you, Liz.
Okay, bye. Bye.